84 at Orchard, you can see plenty of raindrops on the lens. The rain has been moving in steadily from west to east over the last couple of hours. Last hour, I've been watching this cell. It has held together. We are seeing a little bit of rotation right there, which we don't normally see, especially in the morning hours. So this is a significant storm. If you have to travel this direction in the next hour or so, I would just wait it out if you can. We know how dry it's been. The ground is parched. You put heavy bursts of rain on top of that dry ground. Flash flooding becomes a really big concern. By tomorrow at this time, we might see almost all of it out of the area. So watch our surface smoke forecast. The blues, remember, indicate the lightest levels of surface smoke, where you see no color at all. That indicates the absence of smoke. So by tomorrow morning, late tonight, tomorrow morning, most of this has moved off to the east. Even the Magic Valley may get rid of the smoke completely tomorrow. All right, it is Wednesday. Let's talk about my Wednesday weather word, a very appropriate one for this week. The dreaded inversion. If you've lived in Idaho for a long time, you kind of know what this is, what it looks like, what the setup is. But if you're new to the area or maybe just need a refresher, here we go.
Rachel, good morning. Happy Monday.
Yes.
How about that storm on Saturday?
How about that storm? Weather nerds everywhere. We're so excited about that storm, including yours truly. What starts happening is a much more impressive surge of monsoon moisture comes in. Plus, we will have a storm system or a disturbance that will combine with the monsoon moisture, all of it coming in from the south, and that will lead to a messy and potentially dangerous weekend. Here are the biggest threats we're watching. The possibility of freezing fog is real today. And remember, those overpasses and bridges tend to ice first. Fog, of course, is fully saturated air that contains moisture. It can deposit some of that moisture on our overpasses, on our roadways, on our sidewalks even. So keep that in mind. The sidewalks could get just a little bit slick if you're an early morning runner. Despite the conditions, take it easy. Could be a little slippery. Hey everyone, I know normally we don't celebrate a whole lot on Tuesday, except tacos, of course. Taco Tuesday is always a reason to celebrate, but the weather should have you also doing a happy dance today. I'm calling it another Goldilocks afternoon, and you know why. Not too hot, not too cold, but just right as far as those temperatures go. A very seasonable May day. Let's talk about the heat that is setting in this week. This will be the big weather headline, especially Friday and Saturday. There's the potential for either tying, maybe setting some record highs. Whatever you have on the ground outside your home right now, if you're in Boise westward, might be about it. Here in Nampa, the precipitation has shut off. It is kind of this icy, wet snow, so this will pack down pretty quickly on snow-covered roads. Moving here and towards Boise, right about commute time, 7 to 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Might need the windshield wipers tomorrow. Just a heads up, maybe tuck the umbrella under the car seat. You won't need it all day, but in the morning it will come in handy. Hi, Garth Brooks fans. This forecast is for you, since when it comes to Mother Nature and what she's doing now, she's cooling it down. That means the thunder won't be rolling when Garth Brooks rolls into town today, as sunshine dominates again across southern Idaho and pretty much the entire Northwest. She's here, she's here. Let's just admit it. I'm running, I dropped my clicker, I'm in heels. Oh, take it easy. Not gonna let me drive the bus. They did put me in charge of the horn. Which is about all that I want to be responsible for here this morning. The beauty of this bus too, though, is that it travels around the Treasure Valley, so you never get the same view twice. I want to point out as well that Matt did not get the memo about Jumpsuit Friday.
I know, I forgot to wear my jumpsuit that I have so many of.
Which is so disappointing. You did get the blue memo, though.
Yes, and you are wearing pants, so that's half of the outfit.
That's always a good thing here at work.
No jump, but you do have the suit part down,
Yeah,
so that's good.
No sit suit.
All right, let's talk about those current conditions. If you are maybe wearing a jumpsuit or anything else out the door this morning, which hopefully, yes, involves. I want to point out as well that Matt did not get the memo about.
Meteorologist Rachel Garceau with your Idaho News 6 forecast.
All right, 6:45 on a fabulous Friday, actually. We have a pretty nice day coming our way. And then the weekend happens. We've been anticipating this storm all week. Of course, the timing has slowed down. Remember, early in the week, we had expected rain tonight. It's all holding off until tomorrow evening into Sunday morning. But here are the impacts to be ready for over the next 48 hours. Breezy to gusty winds from late Saturday, and I think they will stick around through Sunday. When you combine that with very cold conditions on Sunday, be ready for a breathtaking end to the weekend, kind of in all the wrong ways, unfortunately. We do have mountain snow that will start flying tomorrow evening, with a coating possible all the way down to valley floors by Sunday morning. And then we just have this cold weather, this pool of cold air that pulls up a chair and stays for a while from Sunday all the way through next week. So we kind of have thing one and thing two, if you will, that are in play over the weekend. Both of these will start diving south, and as they start interacting and kind of pivoting around each other over the weekend, that will create a prime recipe for not only cold but also that snowfall. The precipitation you see here that looks like it's about to encroach on McCall and over into the western portion of the Treasure Valley will actually stay out of our area today. I'm starting our Futurecast Saturday morning. We'll wake up, I think, to some sunshine tomorrow. Not a bad way to start Saturday, but here's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Rainfall in the western portion of the Treasure Valley, likely some snow already just north of McCall as we watch the precipitation fill in as these systems start to spin here Saturday evening into Sunday. Heavier rain for the Boise area. Doesn't take long for this rain to turn over to snow at about 4,000 feet, maybe 3,000 feet even by Saturday night. Sunday morning, here's what we could wake up to on the ground. 1 to 3 inches for our mountain valleys from McCall, Stanley, Ketchum, Sun Valley. That 1 to 3 inch range is a pretty good estimate. Where you see the deeper purples here, though, the higher elevations will see more significant snow. We're talking 8 to 12 inches potentially for some of our mountain passes. Galena Summit, places like that are under a winter storm watch because of the heavy snow coming in, and that trace to a coating for the lower elevations. Grassy areas might be covered when you wake up on Sunday. It all starts dying down Sunday afternoon, and by Sunday night into Monday morning, we don't even see any clouds left over, but we have cold conditions that will settle in, like I said, through next week. Here's the area under that winter storm watch. This is from tomorrow evening through Sunday evening. And I want to point out as well here on McCall's extended forecast, here's our snowy weekend, a break in the action Monday, and then look what happens Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week. Temperatures barely up to the freezing mark for the middle of the week in McCall, and we have more wet weather coming our way. More snow for the mountain ski resorts. You should be loving this forecast. Over a foot, maybe a foot and a half likely in many of our ski resorts over the next 10 days. And we may see more snow next week here in the valley as well. So get out, enjoy the 70-degree temperatures in Boise today. It's the last I think we'll see of it for quite some time. 68 for Garden Valley today, 66 in Idaho City. It's been a little breezy this morning. We'll likely see the wind picking up a little bit throughout the day today in advance of that system that will come in for tomorrow. 59 for McCall, 62 in Cascade, mostly cloudy in the mountains. We do lose the benefit of the sunshine, at least for the first half of the day. 60 for Stanley, 61 in Sun Valley, so still very comfortable. 64 in Fairfield. Magic Valley, you have an amazing day, flirting with high temperatures again in Twin Falls. 72 degrees for Twin Falls, Gooding, and Burley with some wind this afternoon. Down to 53 tomorrow with those showers popping up in the evening. Only 39 the high on Sunday. And then there's that cold weather for the rest of the week through Veterans Day on Wednesday and beyond. Highs only around 40 degrees in Boise.
Here's meteorologist Rachel Garceau with your Idaho News 6 forecast.
6:46 now on our Thursday morning. Still bitterly cold across much of the country. We're at 20 in Boise. That is chilly for the middle of February. Dallas is warmer than us this morning for the first time in a little while. 24 degrees though in Dallas, Texas, barely above freezing in Houston. And Bismarck, North Dakota, also for the first time in a little while, is starting their day at least with an air temperature reading above 0 at 6 degrees. So we are slowly seeing that polar air receding, but I say slowly. We are still going to be seeing stories about the extreme cold and the ice, the freezing rain, and the snow across portions of Texas and other places in the south for at least the next couple of days before things really improve early next week. And we have a winter storm that will be on our doorstep by this afternoon. A winter weather advisory goes into effect for the west central mountains, the east central mountains, the upper Treasure Valley, which is from Boise eastward, and into the western Magic Valley. That happens at 5 p.m. today. A more significant winter storm warning goes into effect at that same time for the areas shaded in pink. Weiser, Ontario, Nampa, Caldwell, Fruitland, Payette. All of you will likely see a little bit more significant snowfall than Boise itself, maybe only by 1 or 2 inches more, but still enough that it will create kind of a messy start to our Friday. Here's the culprit behind it all. The main piece of energy, the actual low pressure system, is up to the north off the coast of British Columbia. But as we start looking further south, that system is tapping into this big plume of moisture, already pumping precipitation precipitation into western Washington and western Oregon. We'll see clouds filling in first, and then here's the leading edge right now, just getting ready to cross the Cascades. It will continue marching from west to east over the next 12 hours or so. Eastern Oregon, we'll see the snow start flying first, maybe around 5 o'clock. For the Boise area, I think it takes until about 7 or 8 p.m. tonight to see the snow flying. We may see a few rain showers first, and then the snow starts sticking. By the time it's all said and done, by 5 o'clock tomorrow morning, Boise could have 2 to 4 inches on the ground, 3 to 5 to maybe even 6 in isolated areas out towards Ontario and Weiser, 3 to 5 for McCall as well, and a couple inches looking likely even in the Magic Valley by tomorrow morning. So today we'll start off deceptively sunny. It is very cold, as we just talked about, and high temperatures will only get into the mid 30s across the Treasure Valley, especially because when the clouds come in this afternoon, they'll really kind of put a lid on any heating that can occur. And we have cooler air coming in with this system and the precipitation as well. Some patchy fog possible in the mountains early this morning, sunshine behind the fog, and then clouds roll in, leading to PM snow showers. So McCall, again, about dinner time, could see the snow flying. So overnight snow, and then tomorrow we'll get a break in the action in the afternoon. Another little burst of rain and snow comes in Friday evening into early Saturday. We'll dry out but stay cool for the weekend, and then finally early next week we get back to average with those upper 40s. All right, it is Wednesday. Let's talk about my Wednesday weather word, a very appropriate one for this week, the dreaded inversion. If you've lived in Idaho for a long time, you kind of know what this is, what it looks like, what the setup is. But if you're new to the area or maybe just need a refresher, here we go. So an inversion at its most basic means temperatures increase with height. It's a reversal, kind of an inversion of the normal atmospheric setup, where of course you get cooler as you climb up in height. That's why our mountains see cooler temperatures in the valleys, right? But this is not the case with an inversion. We get stagnant conditions at the surface, really preventing the mixing of those atmospheric layers. So that warm air aloft acts like a lid to trap the cooler air below. So we start seeing mountain temperatures rivaling, sometimes even warmer than those of the Treasure Valley. You know what else it traps, of course? Those pollutants. So this is what we start looking like when we have a really strong inversion in play, right? Looks like it's foggy, hazy, murky, even though skies are clear above that inversion layer. We get those pollutants trapped at the surface that start to worsen our air quality. That's why we currently have that air stagnation advisory in effect, because it might start looking like this out there. Air quality could get poorer and poorer. It is common in winter to have this set in simply because of lack of warming. We need that the lower atmosphere to warm to the temperatures of the higher atmosphere to kind of start that mixing process. And because of longer nights and just cooler temperatures in general, we tend to see these set in for a longer amount of time in the winter months.